I'm Dr. Sarah Olivo.
And I'm Dr. Liz Seidler, and you're listening to College is Fine, Everything's Fine.
All right, so we are on a bit of a microdose roll, but we hadn't done them in so long, so we wanted to get a few in there because we know that a lot of you want sort of the longer episodes, but every now and then you just need a quick reminder of some skills that can be helpful. So we're going to add to our microdose library today and bring you what we call is our how not to be a mess skill. So Liz and I like to play with, what do you call them?
Oh, you know I struggle with this, Sarah. Is it acronyms, abbreviations?
Yes. Yeah, one of those things. It's one of those things. All right. Because sometimes it can be helpful just a way when you're feeling stressed, you know, it's a nice way to have some memory kind of ping up about ways you can help yourself. So this first one we came up with, which is ways you know you can be a mess, right? You know that you can definitely be a mess under the following conditions. And obviously it's a little tongue in cheek. We don't want you to be a mess, but I will say that part of the reason this skill is really important, and it's not exactly groundbreaking, is because when people come into my office and they tell me that they're upset and they're crying or they're upset or they're nervous or they're overwhelmed, I would say 90% of the time, one of these little letters we're about to tell you is off track. And it means that we can do all sorts of thinking work. But right now, your kind of mind and body aren't quite at their strongest to do that. So it feels like, hey, we can do that, but until you sort of get your body and mind going and steady, it's probably not going to sink in so much. So let's start with, you know, we know the ways that you probably got to be a mess, right? So that means for M, not moving your body at all, right? Just kind of being a bit, having some inertia, not getting up, staying in your dorm, sleeping in, staying in bed, not eating well. Now, there's all sorts of different ways to think about eating well, and everyone has a different definition. But what we really mean is consistent meals with some nutrition, not skipping a lot of meals. At the same time, not kind of forgetting to eat or not eating on purpose and then sort of overeating to the point where you're feeling a lot of lethargy or frustration with that, but just trying to maintain some consistent nutrition. The last two, and
I'll do the S's. Because they're my favorite. Sleep. And we know, like, I mean, college students really struggle with sleep. It's not always the most ideal sleeping environment, but, you know, when we have other episodes on this, but like dysregulated sleep, really inconsistent sleep times, a lot of napping. When your sleep is a mess, you emotionally are not going to be doing well. And then last, space from social media. If you're really kind of engaged and you notice that your screen time in terms of all your social media platforms have really increased, that's likely going to lead to you not really living your life outside of your screen. And that's going to have some serious consequences on your physical and emotional well-being.
Yeah. So this is a very, very short microdose episode, but I think the main point is when you're feeling flustered and you have kind of a hair trigger pull reaction or you're cranky and, you know, you can just sort of start to tell that the fibers that are holding you together aren't quite there. Ask yourself, have there been things you've been doing to kind of put you in this mess state? And I can almost guarantee if you course correct and begin to get a little bit steadier on those four things, I'm not saying all your problems go away, but you will be more likely to handle the challenges as they do.
I like that. It's like a good first step that although these are behaviors that everyone struggles with at times, right? All these areas with MS, it is a good first step to examine, like, can I do something about any of these? And let me kind of see where then is my emotional baseline. And we'll include in the show notes, I think out of all of them, maybe except for M, we definitely have some episodes that talk about nutrition on campus, talk about sleep, and talk about the impact social media has on our health and how we can kind of modify our usage. So we'll include that if you have determined that there's a certain letter that maybe you should pay a little bit more attention to.
Yes, that's your homework for today. Find out what's your letter and go do some research. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you to our guests for sharing their stories and their advice. This podcast is for college students, and we want input by college students, so please reach out by text, email, or voice memo to collegesfinepodcast@gmail.com or 929-500-2231. Tell us your story, give us tips on topics you'd like to hear, or give us feedback about an episode.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Colleges Fine Podcast for episode announcements and resources. And last but not least, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast. Every hit of that plus button helps us keep going.